Across the country, the Associated Press reports more than 1,000 students at over 100 universities had their visas or SEVIS records canceled, including a student at BGSU. According to immigration law firm Herman Legal Group, visas were generally only revoked if a student was convicted of a crime or for immigration violations. To maintain legal status, a student has to remain registered for classes full-time, keep their personal information updated, and get employment authorization before working. However, Richard Herman, an immigration lawyer and president of the Herman Legal Group, says what's happening now is different.
The other type of SEVIS revocation is when Homeland Security on its own initiates the revocation. And that's pretty much what we're seeing now. Homeland Security is initiating it. They're not doing it in consultation with the schools, as far as I can tell. And they're just sending out these emails.
The Herman Legal Group's website says new reasons now include traffic tickets or political involvement. Herman says if a student visa is revoked, he recommends doing 3 things. The first is to file a reinstatement.
Although those kind of cases can take 5 months, 8 months, 10 months. And to be honest, we're not that optimistic about that strategy because USCIS, U.S. Immigration, is under Homeland Security, which is the same agency that's been canceling the SEVIS.
The next options Herman recommends are to change your visa category or file a lawsuit.
Those lawsuits, they're important for a couple of reasons, but the main reason is you're asking a federal district court judge who's not part of the executive branch.
Herman says if a legal situation comes up, international students still have rights.
You have a right to be silent. You have a right not to incriminate yourself. You have a right not to sign anything. You have a right to a lawyer.
If a student does have their visa or SEVIS record revoked, Herman says ultimately, universities should be helping out.
They should be defending these students. They should be filing lawsuits for their students.
BG24 spoke exclusively with international students at BGSU on the condition that we would not reveal their identity. The BGSU student who had their own SEVIS record revoked spoke out too, saying, quote, "I felt horrified when the news was broken to me by ISS. However, I did not feel any element of guilt or wrongdoing because I'm 100% positive this is a political move, and I had done nothing to warrant that," end quote. When asked about how safe they felt, the student said, quote, "Generally not too safe in BG, as I keep looking over shoulders every time worrying about having to have any encounter with law enforcement or ICE. However, the whole BG community has been really helpful and supportive," end quote. Another student says when they first heard the news of a SEVIS cancellation at BGSU, quote, "It was shocking. I believe all international students were shocked after hearing that news because there was not enough information to be sure that at least I am safe. I personally talked to several international students and found nobody feeling safe," end quote. A third student saying, quote, "I feel angry and sad. I think part of being a public university for the public good is advocating and protecting the students who attend. It's hard to see this issue officially reach our community," end quote. BG24 reached out to BGSU for an interview, but the university declined our request to meet in person and referred us to resources they're giving to international students. Earlier this month, the university issued a statement about the BGSU student who had their SEVIS record canceled and said in part, quote, "The university is working with the student to connect them with appropriate resources and understand their options," end quote. In Bowling Green, for BG24, I'm Andrew Kish.